The sky is a screen. Some will say a smoke screen and others a glass screen called firmament. Here is the book of the course of the celestial luminaries, according to their orders, their times, their names and the places where they begin their career, and their different places, all things that Uriel, the holy angel who was with me and who governs them, explained to me in turn. Here is the first law of the luminaries. The sun, the torch of the day, comes out of the gates of heaven, located in the east, and sets on the opposite side by the gates of heaven which are in the west. I saw 6 gates by which the sun begins its career, and 6 gates by which it ends it. By these same gates the moon comes out and enters equally, and I saw these princes of the luminaries, with the stars which precede them, the 6 gates of their rising, the 6 gates of their setting. All these gates are one after the other in the same alignment, and on the right and on the left are windows. First, the great luminary, called the sun, advances, whose orbit is like the orbit of the sky, and which is all resplendent with fire and flames. The wind drives away the chariot on which it is mounted. But soon it inclines toward the north to advance toward the east. It turns by passing through this gate, it lights up this part of the sky. This is how it announces itself in its career in the first month. It leaves by the 4th of these gates which is to the east. And at this 4th gate which it passes through in the first month, there are 12 open windows from which torrents of flames escape, when they are opened at the time designated for them. When the sun rises in the sky, it passes through the 4th gate for 30 days, and through the 4th gate on the west side it descends in a straight line. After this time the days increase, the nights are diminished for 30 days. Then the day is 2 parts longer than the night. For the day has 10 parts but the night has only 8. However, the sun passes through this 4th gate and sets through the corresponding gate. Then it approaches the 5th gate, which is in the east, for 30 days, and likewise sets through the corresponding gate. Then the day is increased by 1 part, so that the day has 11 parts. The night decreases and has only 7. Then the sun advances toward the east through the 6th gate, and rises and sets through this gate for 30 days. At this time the day is twice as long as the night, containing 12 parts. As for the night, it decreases in the same proportion and contains only 6 parts. Finally, the sun declines so that the day decreases while the night increases. For the sun returns toward the east, passing through the 6th gate, through which it goes out and comes in for 30 days. After this period, the day decreases by 1 degree, so that it has only 11 parts, while the night has 7. The sun leaves the west, passing through the 6th gate and advances toward the east, rises through the 5th gate for 30 days, and also sets in the west by passing through the 5th gate. At this time the day is decreased by 2/12 so that it has 10 parts, while the night has 8. Now the sun passes to the east as well as to the west by the 5th gate. Finally, it rises by the 4th for 31 days and sets in the west. At this time the day is equal to the night so that both have equally 9 parts. Then the sun leaves this gate and advancing toward the east, passes through the 3rd gate as well at its rising as at its setting. From this time on, the night increases for 30 days so that the night has 10 parts while the day has only 8. Then the sun goes out by the 3rd gate and goes to set likewise by the 3rd gate in the west for 30 days. Then it spends the second both in the east and in the west. At that time the night has 11 parts and the day only 7. This is the time that the sun passes through the second, either at rising or setting. Then it declines and arrives at the 1st gate, which it passes through for 30 days. It also sets through the 1st gate. Then the night is twice the day. Thus it has 12 gates while the day has only 6. And when the sun has reached this point it begins its journey again. It passes through this gate for 30 days and sets in the same gate in the west. At this time the night decreases by 1 part, it comprises only 11. As for the day it has only 7 parts. Then the sun passes through the 2nd gate in the east, returns through the one from which it had fled at first for 30 days, rising and setting at the 2 corresponding gates. The night decreases again, it has only 10 parts and the day 8. The sun passes through the 2nd gate either at rising or setting, then advances toward the east, rises through the 3rd gate for 30 days, and sets at the corresponding gate in the west. The night continues to decrease, it contains only 9 parts, as many as the day, then there is equality between the one and the other. The year is at its 364th day. Thus it is the very course of the sun which produces the length or brevity of days and nights. It is this which makes the day increase successively, that the night diminishes in the same ratio. Such is the law of the course of the sun, it advances, it retreats in turn. Such is the destiny of this great luminary destined to illuminate the earth. This luminary to which God from nothingness gave the name of sun. For thus it enters and leaves, without ever having a rest, cleaving day and night in its chariot the ethereal plains. Its light illuminates 7 parts of the moon, but their dimensions are equal. After this first law, I saw the one who looks at the lower luminary which is called the moon, and whose orbit is like the orbit of the sky. It is also the wind that drives the chariot on which it is mounted, but its light is dispensed to it in measure. Each month its setting and rising vary, and its days are like the days of the sun. And when its light is full, it contains 7 parts of the sun. It rises and takes its course toward the east for 30 days. At that time it appears and constitutes for you the beginning of the month. For 30 days it passes through the gate through which the sun passes. Then it is almost invisible so that no light appears in it, except the 7th part of its total light. Each day it increases by a portion, but always rising and setting with the sun. When the sun rises, the moon rises with it and receives a small portion of light from it. On this night, the first day before the day of the moon sets with the sun. And during this night the moon is dark, but it rises with the 7th part of its light, departing from the rising of the sun. But little by little it brightens until its light is complete. Then I saw another law which consists in the determination of the lunar months. Uriel, my holy angel and my guide, left me ignorant of nothing. So I wrote everything down in the way he revealed it to me. I noted the months in the order in which they arrive, the appearance and the phases of the moon for 15 days. I wrote at what time the moon loses its light completely, and at what time it enjoys all its brilliance. In some months the moon advances alone, and for 2 other months it sets with the sun by the 2 doors which are in the middle, that is to say by the 3rd and the 4th. It goes out for 7 days and completes its course. Then it approaches the gate through which the sun has passed, and for 8 days it passes through the 2nd gate as does the sun. And when the sun goes out through the 4th gate, the moon goes out from there for 7 days, until the sun passes through the 5th gate. For another 7 days it declines toward the 4th gate. It is then in all its brilliance, but it soon diminishes and advances through the 1st gate for 8 days. Then she goes back to the 4th gate from where the sun rises. So I saw their position as well as the rising and setting of the sun, according to the order of her months. And in these days to every 5 years 30 days will be added, because they are an addition in the solar year. And all the days that belong to one of these 5 years will be 364 in number. There will be 6 days in addition for each of them, so as to form an additional month of 30 days. The lunar month is shorter than the solar and sidereal month. Moreover, it is she who regulates the years, in the way that they do not vary by a single day and are invariably composed of 364 days. In 3 years there are 1,092 days, in 5 years 1,820, in 8 years 2,912 days. As for the lunar years, 3 years comprise 1,062 days, 5 years shorter than those of the sun of 50 days, embrace only 1,770 days, and 8 lunar years comprise 2,832 days. Also 8 lunar years are shorter than 8 solar years of 80 days. The year is therefore formed by the course of the sun or the moon. It is therefore according to whether one refers to one or the other of these stars, either longer or shorter. Now here are the chiefs and princes who preside over all creation, over all the stars, as well as over the 4 intercalary days added to complete the year. They need these 4 days which are not part of the year. Men are respectively mistaken about these days, for one must refer to these luminaries to realize them, since one is intercalated at the 1st gate, the 2nd at the 3rd, another at the 4th and the last at the 6th. Thus is completed the number of 364 positions, which form as many days. These are the signs, the seasons, the years and the days as Uriel made them known to me. Uriel is the angel whom the Lord of glory has appointed over all the stars, which shine in the sky and give light to the earth. These are the dispensers of days and nights, namely, the sun, the moon, the stars of all the celestial host which, with all the other chariots, traverse the sky in all directions. Thus Uriel showed me 12 gates which open for the chariot of the sun, from which stream infinite rays. It is through them that summer is formed on the earth when these gates open at the appointed times. From them also escape the winds and the spirits of the dew, when the windows at the ends of the sky open at the times fixed by the divine will. I saw 12 gates in heaven at the ends of the earth, from which proceed the sun and the moon and the stars and all the works of heaven to the east and to the west. Many other windows open to the right and to the left. One of these windows increases the heat of summer, as well as the gates from which the stars continually come out and return in an endless circle. And I saw in heaven the chariot of these stars turning over the world without ever declining. One of them is brighter than the others, this one goes around the whole world. And toward the ends of the earth, I saw 12 gates for all the winds, which escape from them from time to spread over the earth. 3 of these gates open in the opposite part of heaven, 3 others to the west, 3 to the right and 3 to the left. The first 3 face the east, the last 3 face the north. Those on the right and left face south and west respectively. From 4 gates come winds of blessing and salvation, and from the other 8 winds of desolation. When they are on their mission they corrupt the earth and its inhabitants, the water and everything that lives in it. The prince of the winds comes out through the gate placed in the east and through the first gate in the east which slopes towards the south. This wind brings destruction, aridity, stifling heat and corruption. From the second gate, which is in the middle, issue equality or the just measure of all things, rain, fertility, healthiness and strength. From the last gate, facing north, come cold and aridity. After these winds come the winds of the notice, which blow through 3 principal gates. Through the first, facing east, escapes the hot wind. But through the middle gate exhales a pleasant odor, dew, rain, salvation and life. From the third gate, toward the west, issue dew, rain, mildew and perdition. The north winds blow through 3 gates. From the seventh, placed near the one facing south, issue dew, rain, mildew and perdition. From the middle one come rain, dew, life and salvation. From the third gate, facing west but approaching north, come clouds, ice, snow, rain and dew. Then come, in the fourth region, the western winds. From the first gate come dew, rain, ice, cold, snow and frost. From the middle gate, rain, dew, calm and abundance. From the last, on the south side, aridity, destruction, drought and death. Thus ends the description of the 12 gates placed at the 4 corners of heaven. All their laws, all their influences, good or bad, I have explained to you, O my son Methuselah. The first wind is called the east wind, because it is the first. The second is called the south wind, because it is at this time that the Lord, the blessed forever, descends. The west wind is also called the wind of diminution because it is from its direction that all the celestial luminaries weaken and descend. The fourth wind, the north wind, is subdivided into 3 parts. One is devoted to the habitation of men, the other is occupied by lakes, valleys, forests, rivers, places covered with darkness or snow. The third finally is paradise. I saw 7 mountains higher than all the mountains of the earth, from which come frost, days, seasons and years pass and vanish. I saw 7 rivers on the earth, greater than all other rivers. One flows from the west to the east and empties into the great sea. 2 others flow from the north to the sea, and empties into the Erythraean Sea toward the east. As for the other 4, 2 flow from the north toward the Erythraean Sea, the last 2 go to empty themselves into the great sea, where there is an immense desert. I saw 7 large islands on this sea, 2 close to the land, 5 in the great sea. The names of the sun are Osiris and Tomas. The moon has 4 names. The first is Asonia, the second Ebla, the third Benex and the fourth Eri. These are these 2 great luminaries, whose orbits are like the orbits of the sky, and whose dimensions are equal. In the orbit of the sun, there are 7 parts of light, which are reflected by the moon. These 7 parts go to strike the moon until the last one. They leave by the gate of the west, after having illuminated the north, and return to the sky by the gate of the east. When the moon rises, it appears in the sky, and it is illuminated by half of the 7th part of the moon. This light is completed at the end of 14 days. Soon 3 times 5 parts of light were completed, so that after 15 days, it had reached its perfect growth. The moon then reflects all the light it receives from the sun. It then wanes, and in its waning it follows the same course that it had taken in its growth. In certain months the moon has 29 days. There are other months when it has only 28 days. Uriel revealed to me still another law. It is the way in which the light emanating from the sun comes to spread on the moon. During all the time that the moon progresses in its light, it advances before the sun, until at the end of 14 days its light becomes full in the sky. But when it wanes, or when this light is absorbed little by little in the sky, the first day is called new moon, because it is on this day that it begins to receive the light of the sun again. It is complete on the day when the sun sets in the west and the moon rises in the east. Then the moon shines all night until the sun rises before it. Then the moon vanishes before the sun. When the light approaches the moon, it decreases again until it is completely eclipsed. Then its time is over. Then its empty orbit is without any brightness. For 3 months it completes its period in 30 days, and for 3 other months it completes it in 29 days. And for 3 months it has a period of 30 days, and for 3 months a period of 29 days. At night it appears for 20 days as the figure of a man, and in the day it merges with the sky. And now, my son Methuselah, I have made known to you everything, and the description of the sky is complete. I have shown you the course of all the luminous globes that govern the seasons, the different times of the year and their various influences, producing the months, weeks and days. I have also shown you the waning of the moon, which takes place at the sixth gate, for it is at this gate that the moon loses its light. It is there that the moon begins. It is also there that it ends at a certain time, when it has traveled 177 days, that is 25 weeks and 2 days. Its period is shorter than that of the sun. It has 5 fewer days per half year. When it is at its full, it presents the face of a man. This is how Uriel, the great angel who governs it, made it known to me. In those days Uriel said to me, "And now, my son, I have shown you everything, O Enoch. I have revealed everything to you. You see the sun, the moon, and the angels who direct the stars of heaven, who preside over their movements, their phases, their conversions. The days of sinners will not be complete. Their seeds will fail in the fields and in the countryside. The work of the earth will be disrupted. Nothing will come for them in its time. The rain will remain in the air and the sky will be bronze. At that time the products of the earth will be late. They will not blossom in their season, and the trees will withhold their fruit. The moon will change its course, it will not appear in its time. The burning and cloudless sky will be visible, and sterility will spread over the face of the earth. Meteors will cross the sky, for many stars, turning away from their accustomed course, will wander in space. And the angels who govern them will not be there to make them return to their path, and all the stars will rise up against sinners. The inhabitants of the earth will be confused in their thoughts. They will pervert all ways. They will transgress the commandments of the Lord and will think themselves gods. Yet evil will only multiply among them. But the heavenly punishment will not be long in coming. They will all perish. And he said to me, O Enoch, look at this book that came down from heaven. Read what is contained therein, and seek to understand all that is contained in it. Then I saw everything that came from heaven. And I understood everything that was written in the book. By reading it, I knew all the works of men. All the works of the children of flesh from the beginning to the end. And I praised the Lord, the King of glory, the worker of all these wonders. And I praised him because of his long-suffering, because of his mercy toward the children of the world. And I cried out, Blessed is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, and against whom no record of wrongdoing can be found, who has not known iniquity. Then the 3 saints seized me and, carrying me to the earth, set me down at the door of my house. And they said to me, Explain all these things to your son Methuselah. Announce to all your children that no flesh will be justified before the Lord, for he is the Creator. For a whole year we will leave him with your children, until you have recovered your former strength and are able to teach your household, to write down all the things you have seen, and to explain them to your children. But in the middle of the next year you will be taken away from your people, and your heart will be restored to its former strength. For the chosen will reveal to the chosen the secrets of righteousness, the righteous will rejoice with the righteous, they will confess God together. As for sinners, they will perish with sinners, and the wicked with the wicked. Even those who have lived righteously will die because of the wickedness of men, and they will expire because of the deeds of the wicked. In those days they will cease to speak to me. And I returned to my brothers, praising and blessing the Lord. Now, my son Methuselah, I have told you everything, written everything, I have revealed everything to you and given you a treatise on everything. Keep, my son, the books written by your father's hand, and hand them on to future generations. I have given wisdom to you, to your children and to your descendants, so that they may pass it on, this wisdom superior to all their thoughts, to their descendants. And those who understand it will not sleep, but will open their ears to receive it, to make themselves worthy of this wisdom, which will be for them as heavenly food. Blessed are the righteous, blessed are those who walk in righteousness, who know no iniquity, and who are not like sinners whose days are numbered. As for the course of the sun in the sky, it goes in and out by the various gates for 30 days, with the heads of the 1,000 kinds of stars, with the 4 that are added to them and which relate to the 4 additional days. Men are in great error concerning these days, they do not mention them in their calculations. But these additional days exist, 1 at the first gate, a second at the third, a third at the fourth, and a last at the 6th gate. The year is thus composed of 364 days. Thus the calculation is correct. For these luminaries, these months, these periods, these years and these days, Uriel revealed and explained to me, he who, by God, has power over all these stars, and who regulates their influences. This is the order of the stars, each according to the place in the sky where it rises and sets, according to the seasons, times, periods, days and months. Here are the names of those who direct them, who watch over their ways, their periods, their influences. 4 of them lead the way, they divide the year into 4 parts. 12 others come after, who form the 12 months of the year, divided into 364 days, with the leaders of the 1,000 who distinguish the days, the ordinary days as well as the additional days, who, like the first chiefs, divide the year into 4 parts. The chiefs of the 1,000 are placed in the middle of the others, and each of them is in his place. Now these are the names of those who preside over the 4 parts of the year, namely, Melchel, Helamelech, Meliel and Neril. As for the names of the others, they are Admiral, Jaisuril and Jailuiniel. These last 3 walk after the chiefs of the class of stars. Each walks regularly after those who divide the year into 4 parts. In the first part of the year appears Melchel, who is also called Tama and Zahiah. The days subject to his influence are 91 in number. And this is what is seen on the earth during these days: sweat, heat and work. All the trees become fertile, the leaves sprout, the harvest rejoices the plowman, the rose and all the flowers beautify the countryside, and the trees dead in the winter dry up. These are the second in command, Barkel, Zaebel and Heloielel, to whom is added Helamelech, also called the sun or very bright. The days under their influence are 91 in number. This is what is happening on earth during this time: heat and drought. The trees yield their fruit, and the fruit is excellent for drying. The flocks go to their pastures and the sheep give birth. They gather all the good things of the earth. They gather the grain into the barns and the grapes are carried into the presses. The names of the others are Gedahel, Keel, Heel, to which must be added Aspheel. And the days of his authority are expired and finished. And now, my son Methuselah, I have told you all the visions that I saw before you. I had 2 more before I was married, and one of them was not like the other. The first appeared to me while I was busy reading, and the second some time before I married your mother. These were 2 important visions, about which I inquired of the Lord. I was resting in the house of my grandfather Melaliel, and I saw the sky bright and radiant. And I prostrated myself, and I saw the earth devoured by a great chasm, and mountains suspended above the mountains. Hills fell upon hills, the tallest trees split in all their height, and they were thrown into the abyss and descended to the bottom. At the sight of this chaos my voice stammered. I cried out, "It is finished with the earth." Then my grandfather Malaliel raised me up and said to me, "Why do you cry out, my son, why do you lament?" I told him the vision that I had seen, and he said to me, "What you have seen is grievous, my son. And the vision that you have seen is striking. It clearly refers to the sins of the earth, which the abyss must devour. Yes, a great catastrophe will come. Therefore, O my son, arise and implore the God of glory, for you are faithful, and that he may leave some people on earth, and that men may not all perish. My son, disaster will come from heaven to earth, and it will be a great ruin." Then I arose and besought the Lord. I wrote my prayers for the generations of the world, giving my son Methuselah all the explanations he could desire. And when I had gone out and had seen the sun rising in the east, the moon going down in the west, all the stars that God created advancing majestically across the sky, then I praised the Lord of all righteousness. I exalted his holy name, because he had caused the sun to arise at the windows of the east. It ascends and rises before the face of heaven, and it runs its brilliant course. And I lifted up my hands to heaven and praised the Holy One and the Most High. And I opened my mouth, and with the tongue that God has given to all the children of men to be an instrument of their thoughts, I praised him, saying, "Blessed are you, Lord, King, mighty and sublime, Lord of all the creatures of heaven, King of kings, God of the whole universe, whose kingdom, dominion, and majesty will never end. From age to age your kingdom will endure. The heavens are your throne forever and ever, and the earth is your footstool from everlasting to everlasting. For you made them, you rule them. Nothing can hide from your infinite power. With you wisdom is immutable, it always watches over your throne. You know, you see, you hear all things. Nothing can hide from your mighty gaze, for your eye is everywhere. These are the angels who have transgressed your commandments, and your wrath is upon human flesh until the great day of judgment. Now, O Lord my God, the mighty and merciful King, I beseech you, I implore you, hear my prayers. Let my seed be continued on earth, that the whole human race may not perish. Do not abandon the land desolate, and let it not be destroyed forever. O Lord, destroy from the face of the earth the flesh that has offended you, but preserve the seed of the righteous to perpetuate it forever. O Lord, do not turn your face away from your servant.